Welcome back. When the governor shut down indoor dining with an executive order because of the pandemic in March, last May, an additional executive order was passed. He did give restaurants the ability to offer outdoor dining in ways they just couldn't before. At some point, though, those executive orders will expire. So what will happen to outdoor dining? Here to talk about that is Jordan Dikergoros, owner of J Restaurant and Bar in Hartford, and Republican State Senator and Vernon Mayor Dan Champagne. Thanks for being with us, gentlemen. Dan, I'm going to start with you. You sit on the committee where this bill is. A lot of support for this bill at the legislature. What can you tell us about what it intends to do?
Well, it's exactly what you said. What we want to do is we want to help our restaurants. They're suffering right now. They've been suffering for a year. And people are probably going to be a little apprehensive of going indoors. So let's give the option to continue to allow them to be outdoors. And as long as we can do it in a safe manner, it's not obstructing anybody's free movement, then I say let's do it.
And looking at the text of the bill, it talks about places like sidewalks, as long as pedestrians can still pass, parking spaces, as long as there's still enough parking for the restaurant. Jordan, I know you did some creative things up at your place last fall and last summer to get people outdoors. Is that what diners want? They want that outdoor experience?
Oh, there's no question about it. That's all they want. We've been very, very busy all winter, all summer last year. Everybody wants to be outside. They're very comfortable being outdoors, and it's been our lifeline to staying open.
And I can see you got the gazebo there behind you. You got the outdoor table. Is that something that if this were to expire and you had to go back, you have a patio anyway, but if you were just back to that patio and then indoors, what would the effect be on your business?
So my lower dining room has 42 seats. I counted out 20 that can seat even with the 100% indoors when you're taking into account 6-foot distancing. Same thing with our upper dining room. We're less than 50%. So without the outdoor space, you just can't afford to stay open.
It really is a capacity issue, and to get those extra people in the seats. Senator Champagne, I want to turn to you because you're also, as we said at the beginning, the mayor in Vernon. And if there is criticism of this bill, one of the things people say is this cuts the legs out of zoning enforcement officers everywhere. All these towns and cities have zoning codes, and they have to approve what happens and where it happens. This sort of takes that shift away to the state. Is there any concern about that on the local level?
I think if you read the entire bill, I think it covers a little bit of that. I mean, it does talk about the municipality being involved. I think any restaurant out there wants outdoor, wants to work with the municipality anyway. And I'm hoping that the municipalities around the state are looking at this and saying, we've got to help our restaurants. Here in Vernon, we've done everything we can to help our restaurants and to make sure that they are taken care of. I mean, we've opened up parking or seating out in the parking lots in between two buildings, anywhere that it would work, just to continue to get restaurants and keep them in business.
Is there some sense then in keeping it a statewide order? Does that make sense? Because obviously you could just say in Vernon, well, listen, who cares what the rest of the state does? We're going to let you stay in the parking lot. But does it make sense, putting your senator hat back on, to have this be a statewide standard?
Well, I think, I think we need to tighten up a couple things. We need an expiration date on it if we're going to do it statewide. But, you were right when you said that. I mean, we were going to do it anyway. We were going to allow restaurants to do this. Because we've got to help them. But I think if we tighten up a little bit on this bill itself, I think in the end it'll be a good bill for the entire state.
Now, why do you think it needs an expiration date? If it's working now, why not just allow it to continue forever?
Well, the problem with that is obviously we want to make sure we're protected. But when the restaurants went in, there were a certain amount of parking. When we built our sidewalks, they were built for a certain width. And we don't want to interfere with that. If the restaurant wants to have that on a permanent basis, I think they should have to come before the different commissions within the town and do it properly.
What do you think about that, Jordan, having an expiration date on this, maybe get you through this season or maybe even next outdoor dining season with this in place? And then if a restaurant like yours wants to go back and keep the gazebo, you could. Does that make sense? Is that a compromise that you'd be okay with?
I mean, I'd like to see it stay permanent. Obviously, every situation is different. You've got the streets in West Hartford Center that they're closing them off versus somebody who's got the land that they can put out the outdoor spaces. The city of Hartford's been great with us to work with, and we're looking to keep this going outside. It's worked out really well. We've given up 15 parking spaces, but we still have 40 other spots. People are Ubering in. There's other ways to get around. I think if on a case by case basis is what you have to really look at versus just expiring altogether.
Tell me what it's been like, especially over the past, past few weeks and months when we've had snow and cold weather and wind. What's it been like in the restaurant business? I mean, are you surviving on takeout? Do you do a lot of takeout at J Restaurant? Are you just putting whatever butts in the seats you can? What are you dealing with?
We've been moving the snow out of here, and we've been keeping people outside all winter long. It's amazing. People are driving from all over the state to come out here because we've got enough heaters. We've shoveled the snow. We've got, the enclosed gazebos. So it's been great. I mean, people want to get out. They're dying to come out. So they're literally driving from all over the state to come down here, and they can't believe that it can be 20 degrees outside, and we're still keeping them very comfortable. A lot of people are taking their jackets off.
Yeah, we're looking at some video of the patio and of the gazebo and the tent right now. Of course, you're situated right across from Connecticut Children's there in Hartford. And I think we're going to see it, and I'm sure Mayor Champagne as well, you'll see it in Vernon. As soon as that weather turns, I would imagine people who have been inside are going to be amped up to get outside. Jordan, is that what you're expecting?
Oh, yeah, we got a taste of it last week. We're looking forward to it next week. We kind of put a call into Scott and said, hey, keep the weather going for us. Warm weather's going to be great. We can cut back on our propane bills just a little. Looking forward to the nice weather.
Well, I've known you for a long time, and if there's one thing I know, it's when you call, Scott Haney answers, so that's probably a smart call. Mayor, I want to just finish up with you, and actually I'll address this to you as the senator. What do you think the prospects are for this bill? Are you hearing a lot of support from your colleagues?
I'm hearing a lot of support. I'm hoping that it'll go through. We're probably going to be discussing it more today. And like I said, I think it's a good idea. We just have to tighten up a little bit.
All right, Dan Champagne, the mayor of Vernon and a state senator. Jordan Dikergoros from J Restaurant and Bar. If you haven't been there, go. He does a lot of good for charity. We've had a lot of charity dinners there for the Channel 3 Kids Camp. Some fantastic meals there. Hopefully people will come check out those gazebos when it gets warmer and go outside. Thank you both for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up, what is it like to be the wife of a college basketball coach? Andrea Hurley is letting the world know through her new podcast. She'll tell us all about it when she joins us next.